This is not just a rough patch. The Philadelphia Eagles are in real trouble. 2 straight losses. Offense looking lifeless. Defense falling apart. And a fan base that's starting to relive the nightmare that was the end of the 2023 season. You can feel it. There's frustration boiling over. And honestly, there are a lot of reasons for concern. The cracks that were barely holding last year's team together have burst wide open in 2025. Let's rewind a bit. The Eagles started this season at 4-0. On the surface, that sounds strong. But dig just a little deeper, and you start to see the same story from last year starting to unfold. Fluky wins. Close games that could have easily gone the other way. An offense that feels stale, robotic, and easy to predict. And a defense that, once again, can't seem to hold up when it matters most. Back in 2023, remember how the Eagles jumped out to a 10-1 record? Everyone was hyped, flying high, literally. But a lot of those wins were smoke and mirrors. The offense started getting figured out, became way too vanilla, and by the time teams caught on, it was too late to fix anything. They collapsed down the stretch, losing 6 of their final 7 games. And now, here we are, watching that same script starting to play out again. The difference this time is that the defense is supposed to be more talented. On paper, it is. But talent without execution means nothing. That performance against the Giants? Soft. That's the word. Soft. And what was the narrative around this team last year when everything fell apart? The Eagles were soft, and they're trending in that same direction now. Some of the front office decisions are looking worse and worse with every passing week. One of the biggest mistakes? Letting Isaiah Rodgers walk. The Vikings scooped him up for a 2-year, $11 million deal, and he's been lights out. Statistically, one of the best coverage corners in the league right now. Meanwhile, the Eagles replaced him in Darius Slay with Adoree Jackson, a player Vic Fangio himself didn't want. And it's showing. Jackson has been a liability. He's missing tackles, getting beat in coverage, and offers nothing close to what this secondary needs. This team had a shot to bring back Rodgers. Everyone knew it made sense. The price tag wasn't crazy. Yet somehow, they fumbled the decision, and now they're paying the price every Sunday. And let's be honest, it's a rare miss for Howie Roseman, but it's a costly one. Then there's the offensive line. Once a dominant force, now looking shaky and inconsistent. Across the board, it's been a drop-off. Landon Dickerson hasn't looked right at all. Cam Jurgens came into the season off back surgery and hasn't found any rhythm. Jordan Mailata started the year solid, but has fallen off hard the past few weeks, getting bullied by top edge rushers. Lane Johnson, the rock of this line, has been in and out of the lineup with injuries, and even when he's on the field, he doesn't look like himself. Against the Giants and the Broncos, the Eagles' offensive line got absolutely worked. You're talking about guys like Kayvon Thibodeau, Brian Burns, Jonathan Cooper. They were in the backfield all day, blowing up plays before they could even start. This isn't just an off game or two. It's a trend, a problem that isn't going away without serious adjustments. And that brings us to the run game, or the lack of one. It's easy to point fingers at Saquon Barkley and ask where the big plays are, but truth is, he's got nowhere to run. When he gets a little space, you can see the burst, the vision, the talent. But those moments are rare. Last year, the Eagles were creating nearly 4 yards of space before contact. This year, around 1. That is a massive drop-off. You can't expect any running back to succeed when he's getting hit the moment he touches the ball. Negative plays have become the norm, and it all comes back to the offensive line getting dominated. Now let's talk about the quarterback, Jalen Hurts. This is where things get even more complicated. There's no denying his talent. No denying what he's done in the past. But right now, something's off. Accuracy is inconsistent. The deep ball, which used to be a strength, has disappeared. And worst of all, he's struggling to read defenses. Against man coverage, Hurts still thrives. He's aggressive, confident, and makes things happen. But against zone, that's where he struggles, and teams know it. You have to anticipate windows, throw with timing, and trust your receivers. Hurts hasn't been doing that. And when the play calling doesn't help him out, it all starts to unravel. We've seen this before. In 2023, Shane Steichen and Kellen Moore were able to scheme around some of Hurts' limitations. They helped simplify things and mask the weaknesses. But this year, with Kevin Patullo calling plays, the offense feels stale and uninspired. There's no creativity, no rhythm. And now the question is starting to creep in, is it Hurts or is it the coaching? That's why so many fans are wondering, what would this offense look like with Tanner McKee under center? No, this isn't a quarterback controversy. Not yet. But it's a valid question. Because if McKee comes in and the offense suddenly looks sharper, quicker, more decisive, then maybe we start to see where the problem truly lies. McKee throws with anticipation. He gives receivers a chance to make plays. He might not have Hurts' mobility, but he could unlock a different version of this offense. Right now, we're seeing the same thing every week, and it's not working. The Eagles need answers. Fast. The secondary is a disaster. The pass rush? Non-existent. The offense? Predictable. You can't win games in the NFL when you don't do anything particularly well. And right now, that's exactly where this team is. No identity. No spark. No solutions in sight. And it's not like the front office hasn't tried to patch holes. Howie Roseman brought in Jacorian Bennett, but he's on injured reserve and hasn't played snap. Keely Ringo had a decent showing against the Buccaneers, but has looked lost since. With Quinyon Mitchell possibly out for weeks with a hamstring issue, you're now leaning on guys who simply aren't ready. They need to make a move, and soon. Trade for a corner. Trade for a pass rusher. Do something. You look at what the Jaguars did, recognizing a need, being aggressive, and landing Greg Newsome. That's the kind of mindset this Eagles front office needs right now. Waiting around isn't an option. Same goes for special teams. The return game has been a joke. Field position is killing the offense, and that starts with poor returns. Britton Covey is sitting on the practice squad, and honestly, that needs to change. In 2023, Covey was one of the most electric punt returners in the NFL. He's got the vision, the quickness, and the feel for the position that this team desperately needs right now. Put it back there. Get something going in the return game to at least give the offense a fighting chance. And let's not forget coaching. Nick Sirianni has shown he can make adjustments mid-season. He did it in 2021 when the team shifted to a run-heavy approach. He did it again in 2024 after a slow start. But this year, the challenge is bigger. The issues are deeper. And the solutions won't come easy. Kevin Patullo doesn't look like the answer at offensive coordinator. And while it's unlikely the Eagles bring in someone new from the outside mid-season, internal changes have to be on the table. Promote someone. Shift responsibilities. Do something to inject life into an offense that's flatlined. Now the reality starts to hit harder. This isn't just a slump, this is a pattern. And for the Eagles to avoid a total repeat of last year's disaster, something has to change immediately. They can't keep walking into games hoping talent alone will carry them. That illusion was shattered the moment they got exposed by the Broncos and dismantled by the Giants. 2 games, 2 losses, and not just losses. Beatdowns that show exactly where this team is vulnerable. The problem isn't just execution. It's philosophy. There's no clear direction on either side of the ball. The offense feels disconnected. The defense is aggressive one moment and completely passive the next. You never know what version of the Eagles is going to show up. And that's terrifying when you're supposed to be a Super Bowl contender. Even more concerning, this team looks mentally and physically tired. The fire isn't there. The intensity, the hunger, the fight, it's all fading. This team used to punch opponents in the mouth. Now, they look like they're waiting for the other shoe to drop. That swagger, that edge, gone. And it starts at the top. Leaders like Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni have to bring that juice back, or this season will slide out of control quickly. What's crazy is the talent is still there. You've got elite players at almost every position. But there's a difference between having talent and using it the right way. Right now, the scheme isn't putting guys in a position to succeed. Look at Saquon Barkley. When he gets daylight, he looks explosive. But how many times has he been hit 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage? The blocking up front is broken. There's no cohesion, no movement. It's like the line is guessing instead of attacking. And that's why the run game is dead before it even starts. Same thing goes for the passing game. The receivers are talented, no doubt, but the route concepts are stale. You rarely see creative motion, stacked formations, or anything that confuses a defense. Everything is static. Everything is predictable, and it's killing this offense. The timing between Hurts and his wideouts is off, and the lack of anticipation throws only adds to the problem. Defenses are sitting on routes because they know what's coming. Even the hurry-up offense, something that used to be a weapon for Philadelphia, now feels rushed and chaotic. It's like they're trying to force rhythm instead of finding it naturally. And it's clear that the coaching staff doesn't have answers right now. Every adjustment feels too late. Every decision feels reactive, not proactive. And then there's the defense. The front four that used to dominate is getting stonewalled. The pass rush is almost non-existent. You've got 1.5 sacks from your best edge rusher this season. That's embarrassing for a team that built its identity on pressure. The young guys aren't stepping up. Jix Hunt has no sacks. Nolan Smith is on injured reserve. And the veterans aren't getting home either. The secondary is another disaster. Keely Ringo has been targeted and torched. Adoree Jackson is a liability. And with Quinyon Mitchell possibly missing time, this group is paper thin. The Eagles simply don't have enough quality corners to hold up for 4 quarters. Teams are figuring that out fast and attacking relentlessly. And the lack of depth is exposing just how bad some of these personnel decisions have been. It's not just about injuries. Every team deals with those. It's about how you prepare for them. The Eagles didn't prepare well enough, and now they're stuck scrambling to fill holes with players who either aren't ready or just aren't good enough. The conversation about making trades is no longer optional. It's urgent. If Howie Roseman doesn't swing a deal soon, this season might slip away. Whether it's a proven cornerback, a disruptive edge rusher, or someone who can inject energy into this locker room, something has to give. The Jaguars didn't wait around. They saw a weakness and made a move. The Eagles have to do the same. And not just for optics, for survival. Because as things stand now, this team doesn't look like it can compete deep into the postseason. Right now, it doesn't even look like it can win the division. The Cowboys and the Commanders are watching this unfold, and they're starting to believe the door is open. The margin for error is gone. It's also fair to ask hard questions about Jalen Hurts. Not from a place of panic, but from a place of truth. What are his limitations? What's holding him back right now? Because the reality is elite quarterbacks elevate everything around them, and Hurts hasn't done that this year. He's not the only problem, but he's not solving problems either. He looks hesitant, he's missing reads, and the spark we've seen before just isn't there. If this continues, the staff has to at least consider giving Tanner McKee some reps in garbage time, just to see what he can do. Not as a permanent switch, but as an evaluation. If you don't explore your options, you're just guessing. The offensive coordinator situation is a big part of this. Kevin Patullo has not delivered. Whether it's play design, play calling, or overall offensive identity, it's just not clicking. And in today's NFL, where offensive creativity is at a premium, the Eagles are falling behind fast. If Sirianni is serious about saving the season, he has to look at the coaching structure. Maybe it's time to promote from within. Maybe the quarterback's coach gets a bigger role. Maybe Sirianni takes over play calling duties again. Something. Anything. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our Philadelphia Eagles. And don't be shy. Share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Philadelphia has been buzzing with speculation for weeks, but now the story seems to be gaining fuel from the source itself. Jalen Hurts, the charismatic quarterback who has been leading the Eagles with a mix of precision passing and relentless mobility, has finally broken his silence. And the comments are stirring the pot like never before. In a statement that is already making waves across the NFL landscape, Hurts allegedly revealed that nobody on the roster wants him back at the Eagles. While the identity of him has not been explicitly confirmed, insiders say the remark is widely believed to refer to a key figure whose presence has divided the locker room in recent seasons. Hurts' statement, casual yet cutting, seems to reflect long-simmering tensions behind the scenes. According to sources close to the team, these tensions have been the subject of hushed conversations in the Eagles' corridors, locker room, and even in private team meetings, but never before addressed so publicly. The timing of Hurts' words is curious, coming at a moment when trade rumors are swirling and the team's leadership is said to be evaluating options for the offseason. Philadelphia fans are now caught in a whirlwind of speculation. Is this a subtle warning to management, a signal of locker room loyalty, or just Hurts speaking his mind in a moment of frustration? Social media has erupted with reactions ranging from disbelief to outright agreement, with hashtags trending that echo the quarterback's blunt sentiment. Veteran analysts are already weighing in, suggesting that such statements, if true, could have major implications for the Eagles' next moves. Team chemistry is often as crucial as raw talent in the NFL, and Hurts' vocal stance could tip the balance in decisions about trades, free agent acquisitions, or even front office changes. Meanwhile, sports talk shows are having a field day, dissecting every possible interpretation of Hurts' words and speculating endlessly about who he might be and what this means for the franchise. One thing is certain. Philadelphia is now living through a new chapter of drama that extends far beyond the gridiron. The question lingering in every fan's mind is whether this candid revelation signals the beginning of a major shakeup or just another chapter in the ongoing saga of one of the NFL's most talked-about quarterbacks. Whatever the truth, Jalen Hurts has made sure that the rumor mill will not rest quietly anytime soon. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Philadelphia Eagles, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.